Hi, Jerry Jenkins here talking about all things writing. Today, book genres that might interest you. Mary Shelley didn't likely intend to invent a new book genre when she wrote Frankenstein in 1822, but more than 200 years later, every library and bookstore has a science fiction section. The categorizing of literature dates back to ancient Greece, and we've been adding genres ever since. The very idea of knowing the genre in which you're writing can be daunting, but agents and publishers will ask. So let's take a look at the most popular book genres. A genre is simply a category of art based on shared characteristics. So how many book genres are there? At least 50, which might sound like few when you consider that more than 150 million books have been written by now. But keep in mind that many fall under more than one genre. Today I'll cover just 28 of the most common genres, and I'm going to speed through these just to give you a quick tutorial and maybe give you some ideas for a genre or two you might want to try. Feel free to pause the video at any point to take a quick note. Of course, all books fall into one of the two overarching genres, fiction and nonfiction. So let's start with apocalyptic fiction. That's one of my personal specialties. That's a subgenre of science fiction, which is itself, of course, a subgenre of fiction. Fiction is, by definition, imaginary, made up, comprised of invented plots, characters, and settings. Within that broad category are many subgenres. For instance, fantasy features supernatural, mythological, or magical elements. It can be further divided into high and low. In high fantasy, the setting is as paramount as the plot. Low fantasy involves magic or the supernatural set in our own world. Fantasy examples include Game of Thrones by George Martin and The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. Similar to fantasy, science fiction explores futuristic and highly technological societies while dealing with classic themes and addressing big what-if questions. Many readers equate science fiction with hard sciences, set in the distant future, such as advanced AI, time travel, and space exploration. However, many books in this genre deal with the soft sciences, such as sociology or ecology, to speculate about the future of the human race. Science fiction examples include Dune by Frank Herbert and The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula Le Guin. Often considered a subgenre of science fiction, dystopian novels have emerged as their own genre in recent years. These stories are set in a bleak, grim future, often following a tragic event or natural disaster. Characters face oppressive governments, technology gone bad, or environmental ruin in pursuit of cultural and social justice. Examples include The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins and 1984 by George Orwell. Action and adventure novels feature a main character on a quest to achieve a goal, encountering a series of high-stakes situations. By the end of their journey, they've overcome or been defeated by these challenges and have undergone a personal transformation of some sort. Examples include Life of Pi by Jan Martel and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Next up, detective and mystery novels. This genre's plots revolve around a crime or mystery that must be solved or foiled by the protagonist. While many other genres also include a mystery or even a bit of detective work, this one features the solving of the crime as its driving force. Examples include The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Next, thriller and suspense go hand in hand, incorporating elements like horror. The author's objective is to maintain tension at the highest level until the resolution. While thrillers and suspense novels involve elements similar to the mystery genre, here the protagonist primarily attempts to save their own life or someone else's, rather than solving a crime. Examples include The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson and Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. Romance is another popular genre, and in this one, love serves as the focal point of the plot. Usually the entire story develops the main character's romance and usually ends happily. Examples include The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Conversely, the horror genre attempts to scare, startle, shock, and wreak discomfort or even revulsion until the hero defeats the threat in the end. Its subgenres vary broadly from comedy horror to psychological horror to even slasher horror. Horror writers like Stephen King and Dean Koontz are experts at eliciting such responses and often incorporate elements from the thriller, suspense, or mystery genres. Horror examples include Carrie by Stephen King and The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Historical fiction is, by definition, focused on a specific event and provides accurate details relevant to the period. While the plot may play out in the shadow of an actual event, such as the Civil War, the characters and their actions are fictitious. Examples include All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr and 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Now, the young adult or YA genre is fiction geared toward readers aged 13 to 17, though it often overlaps other genres such as fantasy or dystopian with a coming-of-age storyline. Interestingly, YA titles have proved extremely popular with all ages, and my second example is the best-selling series in history. Examples include The Fault in Our Stars by John Green and Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. Children's fiction is aimed at readers aged 13 and under, and many subgenres comprise this category. Examples include Goodnight Moon by Margaret Brown and Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Women's fiction typically focuses on the shared feminine experience through the character arc of a female protagonist. Examples include The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan and The Help by Catherine Stockett. Contemporary fiction is so broad that it can include almost all genres set in the present. Plots revolve around a character's work, politics, relationships, and the struggles of the modern era, but include challenges and twists to keep readers engaged. Examples include Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman and A Man Called Ovi by Frederick Bondman. Works of literary fiction are character-driven and introspective. They intend to evoke deep thought through personal or social commentary on a particular theme. Here, the writing quality itself is as important as the plot. Examples include Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens and To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Graphic novels are defined less by their content than by their format. This genre is presented through narrative art with illustrations and typography in a panel layout like that of a comic book, but they have evolved into their own genre. They can cover content as broad as memoirs, historical accounts, and adaptations of other media. Examples include The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy, and The World of Iduna by Merbius. The short story genre usually shares a theme or narrative thread that's self-explanatory. Examples include Legoland by Gerard Woodward and The Best Christian Short Stories by Brett Lott. All right, let's now look at nonfiction book genres. While storytelling remains vital in these genres, nonfiction books feature events, people, and concepts based entirely on fact. Memoir and autobiography fall under the same genre because in both cases, the author serves as the narrator. An autobiography is a chronological account of the life of the narrator, while a memoir selects defining moments in one's life to buttress a self-help theme. A popular memoir example is The Grass Castle by Jeanette Walls. An autobiography example is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. Biographies tell the story of the life of a notable person, most often someone well-known or anyone whose story teaches valuable life lessons. These differ from autobiographies in that they're written in third person by someone else rather than by the subject in first person. Examples include Alexander Hamilton by Ron Chernow and Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. The history genre aims to educate and entertain by chronicling a historical event. Examples include The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson and Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee by Dee Brown. Food and drink has become one of nonfiction's hottest genres as its titles cater to a variety of diets, lifestyles, and cultural cuisines. Photographs often accompany recipes and personal stories for food lovers. Examples include Fire and Ice, Classic Nordic Cooking by Dara Goldstein, and Food 52 Genius Recipes, 100 Recipes That Will Change the Way You Cook by Kristen Miloyo. Examples include Fire and Ice, Classic Nordic Cooking by Dara Goldstein, and Food 52 Genius Recipes, 100 Recipes That Will Change the Way You Cook by Kristen Miloyo. Examples include Fire and Ice, Classic Nordic Cooking by Dara Goldstein, and Food 52 Genius Recipes, 100 Recipes That Will Change the Way You Cook by Kristen Miloyo and Amanda Hesser. Next, often organized into collections or anthologies, the poetry genre includes free verse, rhymed verse, and a variety of other types of poetic expression. Examples include Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman and The Wilderness by Sandra Lim. The self-help genre aims to empower readers to realize their potential so they can become the best versions of themselves. Examples include Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear, and The Power of Letting Go, How to Drop Everything That's Holding You Back by John Perkis. True crime books examine real crimes and events, usually with alarming detail. Many books in this genre focus on infamous murders, kidnappings, or other felonies. Examples are In Cold Blood by Truman Capote and I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. Travel books take readers all over the world, featuring reviews, budgeting tips, travel hacks, and advice on where to eat and what to see. Examples include The Journey Matters by Jonathan Glancy and Vagabonding by Rolf Potts. The art and photography genre showcases artists' work, a specific style of art, or the history of art. Examples include Wonderland by Annie Leibovitz and On Photography by Susan Sontag. Essays are another genre of nonfiction and often follow a unifying theme. These essays, or transcribed speeches, cover the writer's personal experiences, usually told in the first person. Examples include A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf and Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion. Humanities and social sciences is an academic genre that explores issues related to psychology, sociology, philosophy, language, religion, or music. Examples include How You Say It, Why You Talk the Way You Do, and What It Says About You by Catherine D. Kinsler, and On Liberty by John Stuart Mill. Books in the science and technology genre delve into current scientific and technological developments, such as artificial intelligence, coding, and medical research. Examples include The Premonition, a pandemic story by Michael Lewis, and Life's Edge, The Search for What It Means to Be Alive by Carl Zimmer. All right, that's plenty of talk about genres for today. Do you have a favorite genre to read, or a favorite in which you'd like to write? Maybe you got an idea from today's list, though this was not by any means an exhaustive exploration of all the genres and subgenres. Book genres can serve as powerful marketing aids, telling an agent or a publisher's acquisitions editor the readership you intend to target. I urge you to read dozens of books in your genre before attempting to write in it, so you learn its conventions, readers' expectations, and rules, even and especially if you plan to break them. If you found this video helpful, like it, comment on it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. And if you're looking for help in other areas of your writing, check out my blog at jerryjenkins.com/blog. All the best with your writing, and I'll see you next time.